9 o'clock Central African Time. This is BTV News. We're broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Gaborone. I'm Udibile Samoka. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. President Boko gives assurance of government's commitment to positively transform the agricultural sector. Botswana and Zimbabwe committed to strengthening relations.
Clash of Legends tournament disburses a total of 120,000 pula to benefit 2 former players and 4 coaches.
And that is Liza Oseke joining us later on our sport desk. I'm is interpreting in sign language. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now in our first story, President Advocate Maboko has called on the nation to get into transformation mode in order to improve and grow the agricultural sector, giving assurance of government's commitment to help transform the sector to generate the required results. Boko said this when officiating at the Kaka Farmers Association Field Day in Boteti region, further urging citizens to step up and help contribute to the development of all sectors of the economy. Monica Siswael.
Government has from the beginning recognized education as a fundamental right and the basis for progress. Hence the decision of sending locals abroad for educational purposes, particularly for higher education and specialized training. With the current challenges facing the agricultural sector, the president said it is now time for the educated to contribute to the development of this country.
They've been to the best places. Others went to Yale, Harvard. They come back and they give us generalized mediocrity. Then that investment in educating them is a lost investment. Those whom we send to school must step up. This country is tottering on the brink of collapse. This country has stagnated for decades. And we have educated people in this country. What have they been doing? Where have they been? Where are the transformative, the radical ideas and actions? Where are they?
In recent years, there has been a significant decline of the national cattle herd. That is why stakeholders are eager to find solutions to this problem.
Le ha di saka boleng jo bo rileng le tsone ga di diritiro ka mabaka a gore malwetse a dikobo a dikgomo a mantsi mo Botswana mme gape ga re a thathobe sente so ke sone se se dirang gore ga dikgomo tsa rona di a go pagangwa ke po ya teng ka sekgwararebe ya be e shoota di blanks ya be e ntsha metsiela go sena peo e leng gore e ka gore ya gore kgomoelo e kape
e bile ha ile dipudi tsone re ka re hela re nyare la thegile la bohelo ka gona go peko re di rekisang teng le tsone dinku solohela ke gona gore mathabelo a gilweng ko tsabong gongwe tare mo botsamong ba nako a bulwe me re gona go rekisa di hutshane.
In a very short space of time, government will establish, I hope, because that certainly is my idea, and I will impress it forcefully upon others, establish centers, agricultural centers of excellence in every district. We must have those.
As efforts to help in this regard, Kaka Farmers Association has partnered with companies from abroad to deploy technology such as the surrogacy embryo transfer, among others, in order to help increase the numbers and quality of livestock in Boteti region. Monica Setswaela, BTV News.
The Vice President, Ms. Tandaba Haolate, says government is aware of concerns raised by farmers regarding prices at the Botswana Meat Commission. He assured farmers that government is actively working on sustainable solutions to ensure that farmers receive a fair value for their hard work and products. Speaking at the official opening of the 2025 Charles Hill District Show, Horata Maranyani reports.
The Vice President's remarks come after the growing discontent among livestock producers who argue that current pricing structures do not adequately reflect their production costs or the value of their products. Many farmers have called for reforms to ensure profitability and long-term sustainability in the sector. Vice President reiterated the administration's dedication to collaborating with stakeholders, including farmers, BMC officials, and industry experts, to develop equitable pricing mechanisms, emphasizing that supporting farmers is critical to Botswana's food security and economic growth.
Rona barui inne rona ba re etellang pele gore matlhabelo a tshwanang le BMC le a mangwe a tla tlang go morago a ka tlhabololwa ka tsela e ntseng jang mme go na le lenaneo hela le le papameng le ka lone lekgotla le tshwana le BMC le tsileng go baakangwa le kentwa ka baeteledipele ba bangwe go oketsa ba ba leng teng go tokafatsa le kentwa ka ledi ka madi a ka dirisiwang go baakanya didirisiwa tse di dirwang ke tshimologo ke dilo dingwe tse re simolotseng go di dira re le Botswana.
Among other things, Charles Hill District has made remarkable strides in the horse racing competition, which will enhance sports tourism that will in turn grow the economy of the country.
As we celebrate today's achievements, it will be remiss of me not to share some of the challenges that we face while preparing for this event. Director of Ceremonies, the venue, which is the Charles Hill Horse Track, is a national investment. It stretches approximately 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. It has a borehole and a water reticulation infrastructure.
Let us imagine together a horse racing festival, drawing international tourists and sports tourism investors. And why? Because we've got a very nice and very beautiful horse tracks that need us. Let us imagine together a circular economy model driven by recycling, green energy, and climate-smart farming.
The Vice President called on residents to continue supporting such initiatives as its impact extends beyond the borders of Charles Hill. Khorata Moranyani, BTV News.
The Directorate on Corruption and Economic Crime and representatives from the anti-corruption agencies in the African continent gathered on the occasion of the 9th edition of the African Anti-Corruption Day in Gaborone yesterday, where African governments were called on to ensure that those who are found guilty of corruption face appropriate consequences regardless of their status. Monica Siswaira with more.
Botswana has for long been considered one of Africa's least corrupt countries and top performer in democratic practice and good governance. However, recent reports on corruption in the country, including that of the former Permanent Secretary to the President, Mr. Katamurupisi, as well as the Afrobarometer survey data, which reveals a growing concern among citizens about corruption, especially within the executive branch, suggests the need for stakeholders to reflect on ways to strengthen strategies to take stiffer action.
Each corrupt act, whether we like it or not, is a wound inflicted upon someone's life. It's a wound inflicted upon someone's legacy. It's a wound inflicted upon someone's future. So, as the DCEC, we are committed, and waveringly so, we are committed to bolstering our prevention strategies, investigating fairly, openly, transparently, and holding those engaging in corrupt acts to account.
This year's focus on human dignity in the fight against corruption recognizes the need to protect the rights and well-being of individuals affected by corruption as it hinders developments and services.
Critically, we also need to place a microscopic lens on the daily treatment suffered by our people. A child denied schooling, a patient denied a clinic, a family deprived of clean water, a qualified youth passed over unfair reasons, the undermining of our justice systems, voter intimidation, whistleblower persecution. Of course, these are all reflections and outcome of continuing to entertain corruption.
I take it that by now we are all aware that over the years we've had voices from the youth, from the elders, from persons with disabilities, from women, from children, the working class, and concerned citizens on how corruption has affected them. And this calls for all of us to act and act swiftly.
Such a commemoration gives stakeholders an opportunity to reaffirm commitment to the fight against corruption, promotion of transparency, and accountability by all. Monica Setswaila, BTV News, Gaborone.
Botswana and Zimbabwe have committed to further strengthen their diplomatic relations and optimize economic opportunities in different sectors for the mutual benefit of their people. Yesterday, the mid-term review of the 2024 Bi-National Commission agreements in Gaborone, the two countries signed on the agreed minutes, which solidified their cooperations.
During the Bi-National Commission held in Maun last year, the two countries agreed to explore collaborations in various fronts, including trade, political diplomacy, security, agriculture, and many others. With the changes emerging from geopolitical changes, the eagerness for these countries to gain independence through cooperations deepens as they now seek to optimize on each existing opportunity in different sectors to ensure the well-being of their people.
Re leba methale e harologaneng re lebelela di policies tsa mahatsha rona gore me jaaka melao kana melawana.
We all know that intertrade contributes significantly to the growth of the economy. Therefore, we need to ensure quality trade between the two countries. We are currently faced with challenges resulting from geopolitical changes, which makes it necessary to find ways to be independent as African countries.
Tsa theko le thekiso mo go dirisanye mo go tsamaiseng batho ga gare ga mahatsha a mabedi mo go dirisanye mo go tsweletseng serodimo sa le sa tsone dikgwebo le meamiso ya lehatshe mma mme ke tsone yo tse re ne re ntse re buisana ka tsone gore tota re ka itukagatsa jang.
However, the need for stakeholders from different sectors to be aligned to all that has been agreed on was said to be key.
We have officials working at the border, at our borders, common borders. Let us ensure that we are in the same page, they are in the same page with us. We are in tandem, we are moving in tandem. They understand what we are saying so that there's no discrepancy. It is not like we met here, we took a decision, but our colleagues at the respective places or areas are not moving with us, or there's a different interpretation.
We agreed also as co-chairs that we need a thorough review of all the agreements, MOUs that we have, so that we adapt them to the current realities. We will also, in the same exercise, have to see which ones we should drop. Because if you tell me we are negotiating an MOU for 5 years, it means it's not necessary.
The fifth session of the Bi-National Commission between Botswana and Zimbabwe is anticipated this coming October in Harare, Zimbabwe. Gilitlelezwe, Somolekai, PTV News, Gaborone.
You're still watching PTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now moving on. Peolwane residents in the Gaborone-Bonington North Constituency calls for the construction of a police satellite that will help curb escalating crime incidents in the area. They indicated that on Thursday during a Khotla consultative meeting addressed by their area member of parliament, who is also Assistant Minister for State President Ms. Maipelo Mophuting. Mojeri Mukibelo.
This marked the last leg of the Gaborone-Bonito North Constituency Ward Consultative Kota meetings by the area MP as they gear up to the winter parliament session, which has just kick-started. As they raised some of the concerns, the constituents decried lack of infrastructure development, including installation of street lights, construction of primary school, as well as police satellite, amongst others. We need a porter camp that can house our police officers while on duty. We need a house for our security guards.
We need to are financially illiterate. So what do you have, or what mechanisms do you have in place to ensure you are not going to fall back into that pitfall?
Yeah, police station able to talk what at the very least a satellite police station. Issue I can assure you that I'm holding some discussions with the relevant authorities to ensure that we set something like that up.
As a way of connecting and bringing solutions to the constituents, Ms. Muputi also invited her counterparts in the cabinet to come and shed light on some of the pertinent issues raised by residents.
Legal ministry. Re na le di auditor tse leng gore kana go tsotlhe di tla emella di a go audita go bona gore go tsamaya ka tsela entseng jang mme re ka bophushanyane tsele tseo ya ka lodi.
We have auditors at our ministry who will assist in auditing cooperatives.
Ya Botswana Cooperative Association e leng gore ya no maikaelo a yo ke go bula banka ele ya bogologolo ya Botswana Cooperative Bank.
We will
revisit and revise our land use policies. Residents also called for the recreational park that will bond and unite them as families, especially during their leisure time. Mushadi Mukibelo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Speakers at the close of the Technical Vocational Education and Training 2025 Pitso and Expo in Gaborone on Friday emphasized that while this type of education will boost the employment by filling vital technical posts currently available, it should also prioritize exposing learners to new technologies to capitalize on untapped markets. Solofelo Tombali.
At the recent Technical Vocational Education and Training 2025 Pitso and Expo, experts urged the government to harness the power of technical vocational education to unlock opportunities in emerging markets driven by new technologies to boost the economy.
Hardwares, developing GPUs or AI chips, the market value for that is over 250 billion. And as a country, that is invested in TVET, we want to be part of this particular market value. We want to benefit from this market value. And we also have services that are brought up along with consultancy services that are brought along with this AI. The market value for AI services is around 200 billion US dollars.
They also noted that technical skills could open doors to countless jobs in the country's mining sector.
In 2023 to 2024, HRDC did some type of a skills audit looking at the mining sector and say what type of skills are actually needed within this space. So they realized that we need coded welders, we need riggers, we need scaffold people, we need rigging, we need fabrication and so forth. So this skills really says, if you look at the mining sector right now, these are some of the skills that when we actually develop and have graduates in this particular field, they are guaranteed that they will be absorbed in the market.
As government moves to position TVET at the heart of economic recovery, it does so backed by overwhelming evidence of the sector's transformative potential. Tsolofelo Tombale, BTV News, Gaborone.
Well, it is time for our sport news. Slides are again on standby.
Thank you so much, Olibile. Good evening. We start here. In a heartfelt gesture aimed at supporting former players and coaches in need of medical assistance, the organizers of Clash of Legends tournament on Friday disbursed a total of 120,000 pula to benefit 2 former players and 4 coaches. Speaking at the awarding ceremony, the founder of Clash of Legends, Sekana Gogo, said the initiative was a way to honor and appreciate those who have selflessly contributed to the development of sport in the country. Prata Moyeng has the report for us.
Sekana noted that with this being the 3rd edition of the event, the organizers have remained intentional in recognizing former players. This year, they extended the gesture to include coaches, acknowledging their pivotal role in shaping the sporting landscape of the country.
It's a Legends event, which is a footballing event, which brings together the former footballers for networking, for interaction, and most importantly, to come and raise funds again for those that have been challenged as former sportswomen and men, as well as those that have in a way been impacted by their passing. This edition now we want to assist 6 beneficiaries, having 2 athletes and 4 former coaches. We've included coaches this time around because when we looked at the athletes that are there, those that are might be physically challenged, that can no longer fend for themselves, we did not manage to get to the number that we are looking at. But that did not come as an obstacle in any way, because we now included the coaches that we've lost.
Corporate Social Responsibility Manager at Botswana Telecommunications Corporations, Henry Ramoto, expressed delight at witnessing such impact work. He emphasized that the initiative goes beyond celebrating sports, as it is about honoring the unsung heroes who gave selflessly to the game.
We are gathered here today, not just to celebrate, but to pay tribute to the greatness, to the legends who have inspired, led, and shape the sporting spirit in our nation. As BTC, we are committed to enhancing community development and engaging in our community through supporting sports and wellness.
Also speaking was Lena Bright, widow of the late Major David Bright, who shared that the event serves as a powerful tribute, affirming the lasting legacy to those who helped Botswana's Sporting Foundation.
We are here to celebrate lives that were well lived. This is a very bittersweet moment for us. We are learning to appreciate this moment, to appreciate the organizers of this event.
Each of the 6 years beneficiaries received a monetary gift of 20,000. Among those honored were the former and deceased coaches Major David Bright, Stanley Toswani, Matsidi Sokowa, Kitumetse Pio Paul, as well as former players Marapedi Matengu and Lametla Dinyani. Khoratamwe, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now switching codes, Lizile Tebogo finished 2nd at the Monaco Diamond League in the 200-meter race that was won by the American Noah Lyles. Meanwhile, Colin Kibinatsi came 2nd in the men's under-23 200-meter race with a time of 20.28 seconds. In 800 meters, Tsepiso Masalela finished 8th with a time of 1 minute, 43.82 seconds. And finally, a total of 37 referees graduated from a 5-day intensive MA Elite refereeing course, which was concluded on Friday. The course was hosted at Lekiri Football Center in Gaborone. And our reporter, Segofatso Malepa, has more.
The training targeted elite referees and referees instructors with its primary objective being to elevate the standard of officiating in Botswana, especially in preparation for the upcoming 2025-2026 domestic football season. During the official closing ceremony, Botswana Football Association head of referees, Podiso Rasetsoga, welcomed and congratulated the participants.
Now we are in an era of modern referee. Where now we want to keep with the current standard of football in terms of referee. So they've simplified the referee for us. You are really appreciated for what you've done to us, FIFA representative.
FIFA and COSAFA have extended a helping hand by supporting the development of local officiating through training programs designed to enhance the credibility and competence of referees across the country.
FIFA, we are very happy with the response we got from the referees. I think even the referees themselves can actually see that this time around, for those who have been with us for a long time, this time around, it was something different. Actually taking this as preparation for the new season, whilst we are also preparing them for our international games, because there are more international games coming, and they were preparing these referees for those international games. Like I said before, when we opened, you will see the movement of Botswana referees into international level this time is a bit high, simply because they are responding well in what we want them to do. And again, if they were not good, we would not appoint them outside the country.
BFS Chief Operations Officer Kaho Musinyi encouraged participants to put their newly acquired skills to meaningful use and not let the opportunity to go to waste.
To the referees, no one expects perfection except for me, but we expect effort, we expect growth, we expect professionalism. That means studying the game, learning from every match, and holding yourself to a higher standard than everyone else will demand of you. Because in this trade, mistakes are inevitable, but for the professional, they are rare and never repeated. So go forth with this truth. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. Make it your habit. Make it your identity. Make it your gift to the game. Thank you and good luck on your journey.
The Botswana Football Association reaffirmed its commitment to supporting ongoing training initiatives aimed at advancing football development in the country in collaboration with FIFA and COSAFA. Tsegofatso Malepa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, and that is it for sport this evening. We now take a look at stories making headlines.
President Boko gives assurance of government's commitment to positively transform the agricultural sector. Botswana and Zimbabwe committed to strengthening relations.
And in sport, a Clash of Legends tournament disperses a total of 120,000 pula to benefit 2 former players and 4 coaches.
Well, that is all the news we had for you this Saturday. Do stay with us. Weather is up next.
Good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather update. My name is Neo Aten. Currently, clear skies are visible over most parts of the country. And tomorrow on Sunday, cloudy conditions, becoming partly cloudy conditions, are expected over southern central and northeast. For northern central, we're anticipating fine to partly cloudy conditions, while for southern southeast Gauteng, partly cloudy conditions will be visible. For Chobe, we're anticipating just a few patches of clouds, while for the other areas of the country, clear skies will be visible. We're also anticipating fresh to strong winds over most parts of the country. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precaution. In the morning, temperatures will be cold the entire country with 2 degrees Celsius here in Gaborone, to about 7 degrees Celsius at Maun. Now for afternoon temperatures, it will still be cold over southern southeast Gauteng, southern central and northeast with 19 degrees Celsius at Silibe Pikwe to 21 degrees Celsius at Francistown. For Chobe, warm temperatures are expected with 26 degrees Celsius at Pandamatenga to 27 degrees Celsius at Kasane. Other areas of the country were expecting mild temperatures ranging between 22 degrees Celsius at Veda to 25 degrees Celsius at Maun. Now looking at some cities in SADC, clear skies are expected over Maseru, Johannesburg and Upington with 15 degrees Celsius at Johannesburg. For Manzini and Cape Town, cloudy conditions are anticipated with 20 degrees Celsius at Manzini. We're anticipating partly cloudy conditions with rainfall at Beira with 24 degrees Celsius. Now for Antananarivo, Harare and Lusaka, we are expecting cloudy conditions with 25 degrees Celsius at Lusaka. Partly cloudy conditions are expected over Dar es Salaam and Blantyre with 21 degrees Celsius at Blantyre. For Kinshasa and Luanda, just a few patches of clouds will be visible with 31 degrees Celsius at Kinshasa. Well, that's the weather forecast for this evening. Until we meet again next time, good night.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, speakers at the close of the Technical Vocational Education and Training 2025 PITSO and Expo in Gaborone on Friday emphasized that while this type of education will boost employment by feeding vital technical posts currently available, it should also prioritize exposing learners to new technologies to capitalize on untapped markets. Take a listen.
I think as a country, we are proud of the mineral resources that we have. And we do know that Botswana, when we talk about mining, mining is the cornerstone of our economy, in the sense that it does drive our revenue, it does drive our exports, and also contributes heavily towards the national development. But within the industry itself, we know that there are some of the emerging challenges that we are faced with, whether we talk about the geopolitical challenges, whether we talk about the low demand in the diamond industry, whether we talk about the fluctuations of the commodity prices. These are some of the emerging challenges that as an industry we are currently faced with. But as Botswana, how do we respond to some of the challenges that we see now and going forward? One of the key things that we are currently doing in the sector is to actually create more focus on diversification into critical and industrial minerals. Because as a nation, we have got huge deposits, whether you talk about coal, whether you talk about base metals. So therefore, we have an opportunity to say, how best can we accelerate this aspect so that we can really see growth in this sector? The other thing is that in our country, we are proud of the robust governance that we see. And we're also proud to the fact that if you look at the mining industry right now, we do have some of the best technologies that you can ever think of in the world. So therefore, these really are key platforms that creates an opportunity to really attract investment in this sector. Now, the current state of mining, within the mining pipeline, we start off with exploration. Exploration, then we do feasibility studies, we do pre-feas feasibility, we get into project financing, we do the development of the project, and then we get into production, and then we head into mine closure. Now, if you look at this pipeline within the country right now, all throughout these key milestones, whether you take exploration, we already have got mining companies within this area who are doing exploration, whether it's diamond, whether it's copper and nickel, whether it's coal bed methane. So we do have companies that are doing exploration. But what does this mean for TVET? So what really this means is that we have the opportunity to look at what are the skill requirements in this particular area. And whether it gets to pre-feasibility, similarly, we have got companies that are looking at copper and nickel, we've got companies that are looking at zinc and lead, Similarly, we can actually explore what type of skills are actually associated with that, that aspect. A similar approach in production. And the reason why I'm flashing these various companies is for the institutions to look at opportunities for collaboration, to see what can we do. If you take Jindal Energy as an example, who are currently doing the development of the 300 megawatts, upgrading it to 600, there is an opportunity to say, during this particular stage, what type of collaborations can we actually do so that we can actually develop the necessary skills, we can actually attach students during this phase so that they can actually benefit during this development phase until we get to production. So we should not wait until we have actually started production. So the opportunity is there now. So please have a look. You can liaise with the Chamber of Mines to actually get the appropriate contacts for all these companies so that we can explore opportunities for collaboration. In 2023 to 2024, HRDC did some type of a skills audit looking at the mining sector and say what type of skills are actually needed within this space. So they realized that we need coded welders, we need riggers, we need scaffold people, we need rigging, we need fabrication and so forth. So this skills really says, if you look at the mining sector right now, these are some of the skills that when we actually develop and have graduates in this particular field, they are guaranteed that they will be absorbed in the market. Now, what do we need from TVET? From the industry perspective, we actually need to make sure that we have got the relevant skills that are required, the skills that we actually need to have so that we can drive the production that we need. So we believe that if we have got the competency, the right competency that are needed to drive our business, surely we should be able to succeed. What I've done is to look at a global level to say that, but when we talk about the TVET competencies, the TVET skills, what exactly do we intend to achieve? So for us within the mining sector, first thing is that we need to make sure that the safety performance is not compromised. And after safety, we need to make sure that productivity levels are actually improved because we need to make sure that we are productive. And then obviously we then contribute to the overall economic growth. But for us to achieve this, and if we are to collaborate further with TVET, is that one, we need to make sure that we have the associated skills, the skills that are required, the skills that we believe will actually help us. The other thing is that sometimes we create a lot of focus on the technical skills, but there are also opportunities around support services and business skills. Because if you look at our Citizen Economic Empowerment Program, the bulk of the people or the beneficiaries are actually people who are the beneficiaries from TVET. So these are the people who are today running the various companies that are benefiting. So therefore, let's find time to also develop those business skills. The other aspect is that we know that the world is moving towards the digital space. And therefore, we have the opportunity within the curriculum as well to explore what avenues, what type of skills should we actually develop with regards to the digital skills and the mining technologies that we need. So the opportunity is there. Other opportunities around sustainable and green mining practices, that's where the world is going as well. We have the opportunity there. I've said we need to enhance the safety. So if we are to enhance the safety performance of our business, we need to look at what are those safety and health and environment programs that we can have within our curriculum that can help us to enhance the safety performance of the business. Technical maintenance and engineering, these are fabrication, these are welding, so the opportunities are there as well to make sure that we can develop those skills. Mine construction and infrastructure, whether it's civils, construction, scaffolding, we can look at it. But what can we do for TVET as an industry to make sure that when we develop these skills, we can actually have the graduates that we need for our industry. We do have opportunities for attachment. We do have opportunities to make sure that we can provide internship, we can have attaches within our industry so that we can actually develop the expertise that we require. So what is the role of our industry? The role of the mining industry for us, we are saying we are open to actually collaborate and participate in curriculum development and assessment. So the opportunity is there. We are also open to provide mentorship. We are open to contribute towards the short courses, and we are open also to come in and provide the industry-led expertise as guest lecturers. And then also we can also collaborate on corporate social investment and also partner with the communities in other projects, particularly in areas where we operate. So case studies, oh, is it? Okay. So he says I've got 5. So one of the things that we have done within MCM, as I've said, is to make sure that we partner with the various institutions within the country so that we can develop the necessary skills that we do. So if you look at the numbers, just over the years we have had the attaches, maybe in a proportion of 70-30, 70% being around the TVET graduates. On the attaches we had 686 in the last 5 years, and then interns at 52, and our graduate trainees at 51. So we do collaborate still with the various institutions to make sure that we can attach the students within our mine. And this is similar to a lot of mining companies in the country that they are availing these opportunities for the graduates. Now, we have our Citizen Economic Empowerment Program. Now, within our Citizen Economic Empowerment Program, from 2022 to date, we have been able to spend at least 1.07 billion pula as citizens spend for citizen-owned companies. The reason why I brought this slide is because the bulk of the money that goes on citizen spend, these are companies that the majority of the owners are graduates that came out of TVET. And hence the reason why I'm saying it is important that we do develop the business skills to make sure that they can grab this opportunity. And then the last slide really is to say, what do I recommend? The thing is that we have the opportunity with the mining industry to build the strategic partnership between TVET institutions and the mining companies. We have the opportunity to create center of excellence that can really drive the mining skills that we need through the vocational colleges. And we have seen, we do have colleges that over the years, I know that if you take Wesley Pico Technical College, Boarapa, those were institutions back then that really had the potential and were at the time centers of excellence for this skill. So the opportunity is still there for us to actually do exactly that. We also have an opportunity to really create more focus on gender equity so that we can actually promote, particularly women, to also still play a critical role in this field. And then offer the short upskilling programs for our employees. We do have some of our employees that still need to be upskilled, so the opportunity is there. And then I believe that if we do it right, we have the opportunity to boost the employability, and we have the opportunity to create employment. And the last slide really is that I believe that TVET, as people have said it from day one, is a game changer for the mining sector. And I believe that if we do it right, and if we invest in the skills of today, surely we have got a great mining prosperity for tomorrow.
So I'll try to explain the two main aspects that we're going to be looking at, which is the fourth industrial revolution This is actually defined as by emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, which is AI, which most of us, I know that most of you guys here have used that. We have used ChatGPT's generative AI. We also have Internet of Things, or IoT, which is one of the fourth industrial revolution aspects. And we also have robotics, as well as automation. So these technologies are actually rapidly transforming how we live. Nowadays, people don't even use their mind to write emails. They just say, can you respond to this email through Gen AI, and then ChatGPT will respond to someone's email, say this and this and that. So this is what we are going towards as technology is advancing. And this thing is here to stay. We are actually have to live with it. It also affects how we work at work, and then this is actually there's a blurring boundaries between physical and digital and biological world. So nowadays, in some countries, like in developed first world countries, you'd find someone communicating with each other through visual reality, having an avatar that is being used to communicate with another person. So that is where the world is going. So how is TVET, or how does TVET benefit from this? So TVET is no longer about preparing learners for static roles. It's no longer about let's say you want to fix a car and you take it to a mechanic. The mechanic nowadays doesn't have to listen to the sound that that car is making. He just plugs in a machine in the car, and from the data that is collected by that machine, it can actually, the machine can actually tell oh, sorry, I forgot to use this, so I'm moving with my slides here. Can actually tell the technician where the problem is, and then by that reducing the service time of that particular problem. So it must also evolve to meet the fast-changing skills landscape, bridging the gap between traditional and technical skills. So Botswana, like any other developing countries, faces youth unemployment and needs to diversify its economy through beyond traditional sectors. So the global core AI market value currently for software, AI softwares, is around 400 billion US dollars. That is that shows you that there is actually a lot of job opportunities worldwide that are coming along with AI. And then we also have hardwares developing GPUs or AI chips. The market value for that is over 250 billion. And as a country that is invested in TVET, we want to be part of this particular market value. We want to benefit from this market value. And we also have services that are brought up along with consultancy services that are brought along with this AI. The market value for AI services is around 200 billion US dollars. So dollars. So as a country, we need to be part of the world players in this, such industries. So the fourth industrial revolution paradigm shifts. We need to adapt to this changing world. We need to actually be able to work in this changing world. So we have 4IR signifies a profound reshaping industries and jobs, demanding a fundamental and reevaluation of skills required. I was looking at a video on TikTok from a certain port in China, and there were no workers there. Only robots were actually working at the ports. and then automated robots were working at the ports, unloading the shipments, loading the shipments on the ships. And then there was a control room where people were actually monitoring those robots. But the entire job was actually automated. So we need to be part of that as a nation. We actually have to actually invest in this particular skills. So AI and robotics, intelligence automation, as I just gave you an example of a certain port in China where there's an automation of an entire port where people are actually just monitoring the port without actually being there physically. And then an advanced machinery, we need to actually transform those production and services. We also have AI, IoT, or Internet of Things and connectivity. So interconnected devices and real-time data flows are creating smarter environments. IoT is an example of an IoT is whereby I'll be in Kanye or I'll be in Gaborone and having a smart home in Kanye. I'll just say on my phone, please warm my geyser or switch on my geyser, then my geyser will be switched on. Or someone will be at home and I want to open the door from Gaborone, I'll just connect to my home and then open for that person. That is an example of Internet of Things or connectivity. And then we also have big data and analytics. So a vast amount of data are driving informed decision making and predictive insights. Most of the companies, most of the big organizations, worldwide big organizations now are after data. That's why big data mining is one of the most lucrative industries in the world. So we need to actually collect data to make data-driven decisions and to make predictive insights from that particular data that we have collected. So TVET is the engine, or TVET is the engine to future skills. So as we all know that TVET is about hands-on and occupation-specific training. We have an example of an automotive student learning to diagnose and repair a modern vehicle using an electronic diagnostic tool. I've just given an example that nowadays if you go to a mechanic, the mechanic doesn't have to listen to the sound that the car is making. He just plugs in the electronic diagnostic machine, and that machine, from the data that it has collected, it will actually tell you the technician where the problem is. And then the technician will just go straight to the problem and solve that particular problem. And then we have direct alignment with labor markets. An example is whereby hospitality programs train learners in digital reservation systems and customer service to meet tourism sector demands. So that is one of the skills that it actually TVET can actually benefit from. Then we also have responsive to the industry. An example is an ICT course now includes coding, cybersecurity, cloud computing, reflecting current employer requirements. Nowadays, if you say that you are a seasoned computer scientist, you have to have the skills on cybersecurity, you have to have the skills on coding, you have to have the skills on cloud computing, and then we can actually say that you are a seasoned, you can respond to different industry evolutions. And then we have, we also prepare for practical real-world challenges. Construction students can learn green building techniques and building information models using smart infrastructure projects. And then we also can foster readiness for day one job. Agricultural TVET includes precision farming methods like drone operation and soil sensor support. Nowadays, you can have a farm staying in Gaborone and have a farm in, let's say, Letlhakane, but staying in Gaborone. You can have sensors that you can actually use to irrigate your, monitor the humidity of the soil, and then when the humidity is at a certain level, they can automatically irrigate your farm from a remote area or a remote place. Beyond traditional essential future skills, each and every one needs to understand or have advanced digital literacy as a TVET graduate. So we need to incorporate in our TVET programs, we need to incorporate data analytics, because like I said, we need to make data-driven decisions. We need to understand cyber security fundamentals. You know, someone will be sent an email saying that from your organization saying that you have won 2 million, and they open the that particular email, and then it will infect the entire network of the organization. So we need to be aware as a part of the organization. And then AI literacy and proficiency, we have to be able to be proficient in AI. We also need to be aware of emerging technologies. We have to know what is coming, what is new. So we have to actually, inform ourselves about this coming, this new emerging technologies.
Morocco 2022 was our first chapter. We came, we fought,